So if you've decided to create your own database for Lab 7, which is something I encourage you to do but is not required, you're going to need to give me a copy of your database so that I can test your program over here. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is in my week 9 project, I'm going to right click on week 9 and create a new directory called data. And that's where I'm going to store the export. And then to actually generate the export, I'm going to do that from phpMyAdmin. And if you go to the server and then click on this export tab, you'll see exporting databases for the current user. And we're going to select custom here because we only want to export one database. And then we're going to select which database we want to export. So we're going to save output to a file. Go ahead and leave this all the same. We're going to move the thing when it's done. Format will be SQL. You can leave display comments on. All of this stuff is fine. Go ahead and check Add Create Database and Use statement. And then all the rest of this is fine as well. So if you click Go now, it will create a new file in wherever your downloads are set to be delivered to. So that can take a couple of minutes depending on how big your database is. And I have my downloads set to the Downloads folder. So I'm going to go to Downloads, and I have 127 under 0 under 0 under 1.SQL. And I'm going to open this in Notepad just so you can see what it looks like. So at the top, there's some information about the time zone and character sets and so on. And then the actual export really starts here. So this creates a database if it doesn't exist with a particular name, specifying a character set and collation order, and then it uses that database. And then you have a statement that creates a table. It specifies what fields are in the table along with the type of each field and whether it can accept null values or not. Then there's a bunch of insert intos where the actual data gets added to the database. And then somewhere along the way there's going to be another create table. This is a big file. It's like almost 60 megabytes. So I'm just going to skip to the bottom here. And then at the bottom, after it's added all the tables and all the data, it adds some constraints if you have any. So your primary key for the name cons table, foreign keys if you have any, primary key and indexes for the names table, primary key for your gender totals, and then auto increment constraint for names. Name ID is auto increment, and same with your gender total ID is auto increment as well. And so what this is a set of SQL statements that I can load into MySQL that will entirely recreate your database. So what I'm going to do, go ahead and close that and go back to downloads, is I'm going to give this a descriptive name. And I already have names.zip here, so let me get rid of these here. And then I'm going to rename this after the database, and then Control-X to cut, and I'm going to go back to phpStorm, select data, and Control-V to paste. So I'm just going to paste this in as a SQL file right here. And this is a text file, so it will get compressed way down when you zip up your final project. And that's it. Now I'll have everything I need to recreate your database.